Hello, my name is Clara and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you to this first class in a series of 14 classes, one per day. Over the course of the next 15 minutes, we're going to explore the theme of reset. By that I mean I am going to teach or remind you, if you are a regular Pilates practitioner, how to set your pelvis in neutral, how to engage your core, how to breathe, and generally how to move with a lovely and safe Pilates posture. We're going to start in the middle of the mat. Bring your feet right underneath your hips, hands onto your waist, lift those arches in your feet just ever so slightly as if you want to place an imaginary blueberry underneath each arch. We're going to start tipping our pelvis forwards and backwards. I like to picture my pelvis like a bucket of water. So as I arch my lower back and then tuck my tailbone, I'm imagining pouring water out from the front and then from the back. And then I'm going to bring my pelvis into a halfway point. So if we're still using that bucket image, the water in my bucket is now totally flat and still. This is going to be your neutral. Start engaging through your core, your abdominals, which are the muscles that are in your middle, into an in and up position as if you're tightening a belt. So you should still be able to take some nice deep breaths with this engagement. We're going to wrap our hands around our rib cage, keeping our pelvis in its neutral, our core engaged. We're going to start taking a lovely breath in. And by that, we're going to start expanding our rib cage outwards, pressing our hands away, and then breathing out. Allow your hands to get a little bit closer to each other as your lungs recoil. And again, taking a breath in, and then breath out. Really explore this lateral movement in your rib cage. So pressing your hands as far away from each other as you can, and then breathing out, allowing your hands to get a little bit closer. Now, with our core engagement, as we breathe in, our core is going to relax a little bit to allow that movement, but as we breathe out, start lifting up a little bit more through the core. Great, let's go for a couple more. Breathing in, and breathing out. Last time, breathing in, breathing out. Engage through your core. You might feel that your rib cage is starting to sink towards your hips. That is absolutely what we want to do. With the rib cage positioning nice and connected to your core and hips, you should avoid any rib cage flaring throughout any of the movements. If you do feel that that is happening, re-engage your core, reset yourself back into your neutral and carry on. We're going to bring hands down by our sides. We're going to start off by coming up onto tiptoes as we reach the hands up, taking a breath in. And then breath out. We're going to lower the heels down as the arms come down. Let's go again. You don't have to come up into a full ballerina point. This is just a nice way of mobilizing through the ankles, starting to work through the arms, but also thinking about where our pelvis is. Is it still nice and still? Is our core still engaged? And is our rib cage staying really nice and connected to our core and hips, i.e. not flaring out? Good. Breathing out. We're going to add in a few more movements in just a second. Good. Now let's go for our last lift and lower here. And then bring yourself down. We're going to bring our hands up, bring them behind the head, interlink the fingers, reach the shoulders up, drop them down, hands lift up, and then come all the way down. And again, we're breathing in, breathing out, lower the hands down. Breathing in, lift the shoulders up. Breathing out, shoulders drop, hands come all the way back down. Let's add in a heel lift. Breathing in, interlink the fingers, lower the heels down. We're going to reach the shoulders up towards the ears, and then as they lower down, you reach the hands up, come up onto your tiptoes, and then lower down. Let's go again. Breathing in here. Breathing out, heels lower down. Lift the shoulders, breathe in. And then as the shoulders lower, come up onto your tiptoes, bring the hands down. Nice work. Think about what's going on with your rib cage. Is it starting to flare at any point? If it is, keep the movement smaller or just keep your heels onto the floor while you master this movement. One last time, here we go. Breathe in to lift, breathe out. Nice work. Bring the arms out to the side. We're going to close them in and then open them out. We're going to start doing a little bit of an arm endurance sequence here. If at any point you need to shake the arms out, you're very welcome to. The first thing I want you to focus on is what's going on through your middle. So is your pelvis in its neutral? If it's not, do a couple of tilts. Is your core engaged? If it's not, you know what to do. And with the rib cage, especially as you open the arms, we do run the risk of flaring the rib cage out. So keep everything really nice and connected. Your shoulders are nice and low. Open and close. Press through space. Imagine you've got some really heavy dumbbells that you're carrying in each hand. So you're really having to engage through the various muscles running down your arm and down your back to move through space with resistance. Great work. Let's go for 2. And 1. We're keeping the arms reached out. We're going to turn the palms up and then turn them down. Up, down, up, down. Keep going here. Keep the arms high without lifting through the shoulders. So keep those shoulders low. Press through space. Again, we're imagining carrying those really heavy dumbbells in each hand. Good. We're here for 3 and 2 and 1. Palms up, pulses up and down. Tiny little pulses. You've noticed I've got a very slight bend in my elbows. If you want to go straight totally into the arms, you're very welcome to. Just watch out that it doesn't carry any tension into your shoulders. Keep your core engaged. Squeeze those glutes ever so slightly just to help with the posture. Good. 3, 2, 1. Here we go for circles. Tiny little circles here. We want to make sure that we're not letting the body sway with the movement. So keep everything really nice and controlled. The slightest of bend going through your knees. Core is engaged, lovely and long through the spine. Let's reverse those circles. Here we go. Shoulders staying low. Good. Let's go for 3, for 2, for 1. We're closing and opening again. Watching out, as always, for that rib cage. And open. Close, open, close, open. We're now going up, back to shoulder height. So palms facing up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to tap your fingers together. You're welcome to leave a little bit of space. Good. Long through the spine. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. We're now bringing through the middle. Open, reach up. Middle, open, reach up. 2 more in this direction. Last time. We're now going to reverse. We open out first, through the middle, and back up. Out, middle, up. Out, middle, up. 2 more. Up, last time. And then we're going to reach away with one arm. We're coming into a well-deserved side stretch here. And then back up to center, up and over. Let's add some breathing to it. We're going to breathe in as we reach up and over. Breathe out to reset. Breathe in, reach up and over. Out to reset. Last time. And up. And 1 more. Bring the hands down. We're going to roll the shoulders back. Slide the shoulder blades down the spine. We're going to take a lovely breath in here. On the breath out, with chin to chest, start rolling down. We're releasing through our body, letting our head and shoulders and arms be as heavy as they possibly can be. Then bend your knees, tuck tailbone. We're restacking back up to standing tall. Take a breath in at the top. Breath out, chin to chest. Breathing in as you come down to the lower end of your roll down. Breathing out, rolling back up. Last time, here we go. Breathing at the top. Breathing out, chin to chest, rolling down bit by bit. Finding a nice stretch down the spine, down the back of the legs. Bending, tucking, and restacking. Nice and tall. Well done. Hands come onto your waist. Your feet are still in its parallel stance. Do a couple of pelvic tilts here just to remind yourself of where you should start off, and that is in your neutral, engage through the core. Slide those shoulder blades down your spine, opening wide through the collarbones. We're going to come into some squats. We're going to take a breath in at the top, breath out. We're going to hinge forwards as we bend into our squat. We're pressing through the heels and squeezing through the glutes to come back up to standing. Now, a couple of watch points here. You want to make sure that the shape of your spine does not change, so it stays in neutral the whole time. The only things that are moving are your hip joints and your knees. So you're bending at the knees, making sure your knees are following the line of your toes and not poking outwards or inwards. And at your hips, you're trying to hinge forwards as if you're trying to close a car door. That's how I explain it. Keeping those shoulders nice and low. Great. Let's go for 2 more. Last time, we're staying in the squat position. We're going to start pulsing up and down. I'm going to turn sideways to you. You carry on. But what I want you just to watch here is that spine stays lovely and long. Shoulders are set back. Knees are following the line of your toes. Core is engaged to help stabilize through your back. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now going to hold our squat for 10, 9, 8. Bring your weight into your heels. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up, squeezing the glutes at the top to stand up tall. Give everything a really good shake. We're going to step to the end of the mat. Do a couple of roll downs to get us down to the floor. Drop your hands down by your side. Grow just that extra mini-inch taller. Take a breath in. Breath out, chin to chest. Keep the knees slightly bent if you'd like to get a little bit more depth into your roll downs. Holding it here at the bottom, taking a breath in. Breath out, tucking and rolling up to reset. And again, and one last time. We're going all the way down. You're going to bend your knees so that you can come closer to the mat. And you're ending up onto hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the waist. We're going to come into a little bit of positioning before we do anything else. So just tucking and arching the tailbone here, bringing yourself into a neutral, so where you have that slight natural arch in your lower back. Start engaging through your core, lift your chest away from the floor. Imagine you've got an imaginary tray of drinks on your lower back. We're going to start reaching one hand in front, bring it back down to the floor, go over to the other side. Back down. Good. We've got a couple more on each side. I want you to focus not on how high you're reaching the arm, but more how still you're keeping your back. Good. Keep your core engaged to help. We're going to bring that hand back underneath. We're going to go into our side position here. Now here, you might want to twist through the hips, engage through the core just a little bit more to maintain this lovely neutral line, as well as that stillness through your lower back. Great, last time. And then we're going to reach the hand back. So palm turns up towards the ceiling, reach a little bit higher than your hips. Bring back. Good, last time each side. And then we're going to reach that first hand forwards. This time we're going to keep it up and we're going to circle it round to the back. Now engage your core just a little bit more to avoid you twisting and compensating through your hips. Keep your chest lifted but your shoulders facing down to the mat. Don't allow your weight to creep into your knees. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed between those 3 points. Last time. Bring the hand down. We're going straight over to the other side. Reach, pull back and reach. Pull back. Again, keeping your chest lifted. Let's go for one more. Bring that hand down. We're going to come into a child's pose. Reach the hands out. Bring your tailbone as close down to your heels as you can. Rolling out through the wrists. Swaying if that feels good, or just staying very still. We're going to swing the legs around. We're going to do a couple of roll downs before we finish with some glute bridges. Feet are down onto the mat, knees are up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to hold on to your thighs here. We're finding the sitting bones, the pointy bits in your bottom, we're growing up tall from them. Take a breath in here. On the breath out, we roll off the sitting bones, tuck tailbone, scoop your core muscles in towards your spine. We're going to a point where your arms are straight, but you're able to keep your shoulders down. Take a breath in here. Breath out, tucking and rolling back up. Breath in at the top, breath out. Breath in, hold. Breath out, tuck and roll. Last time before we go all the way down. We're tucking and rolling, coming to this halfway point, holding it here for a breath in. Engage through your core, tucking and rolling up. And then on the next one, we're going to go all the way down. So make sure you've got enough space behind you. Tucking and rolling, straightening your arms. You're welcome to walk your hands down towards your glutes And then we're coming all the way down onto the mat. Bring your feet in closer, knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to start off by tucking tailbone, flattening the lower back into the mat, then using our feet, pressing through our heels, squeezing the glutes to the top. You want to come up to a point where you can still feel the tuck going through your tailbone, and then lower yourself down. Nice and slowly, bring yourself into a position that feels like you're neutral, so where you still have that natural arch in your lower back. Breath in here, breath out, tuck, flatten, press through the feet, coming up, squeezing the glutes, and then tucking and rolling down to reset. Let's go for one more. We're going to hold it here at the top. We're going to just drop the hips down just to a hover so they're not touching the mat. Press through the feet, squeeze the glutes to come back up, and to a hover. And then lift. So the hovering is really just a drop of the hips. It's not a rolling down movement. We've been practicing that with our lifts and lowers. Hover and lift, hover and lift. Let's go for two more. Last time, we're going to hold it here at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll yourself down. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a lovely big hug. That's it. That's your first 15-minute class done. You're welcome to continue redoing this class to perfect your flow, to perfect your posture, before you might want to explore the next classes. The next classes are going to be more and more challenging and use a few more different concepts as well as go through different postures. So please take your time through this challenge and I really hope you enjoy. There's a 5-minute cool down / stretch video to watch if you'd like to explore that. Thanks very much for joining. Take care.